All right, welcome to class today. We're going to go ahead and get started for a 30-minute flow. We'll kick off with a little bit of core in this class, but then really just focus on flowing through the postures and really getting ourselves settled for class today. So go ahead and find a comfortable seat and start to let the eyes fall closed, or if that's uncomfortable, just gaze down at the legs. And taking these first few moments of class, really just to get present with your body and get present in your space. Letting the to-do lists, all the activities, and all the things really just fall away. Starting to take nice, deep breaths in through the nose, filling up completely. And exhaling out the mouth. A few more breaths just like that. Allowing your attention just to focus on the breath. As you inhale and fill up through the entire belly, chest, head. Just exhale it out the mouth to get started. Two more nice deep breaths just like that. Letting the awareness follow the breath as it expands and travels from the seat all the way to the root of the head. And then a nice big exhale out the mouth. One more. Inhaling through the nose, filling up from the belly, the chest, maybe feeling the shoulders broaden. And exhale, release. Now starting to seal the lips and cultivating your Ujjayi breath, your breath of fire, your breath of power. So as you breathe in through the nose, still following that breath as it travels up to the crown of the head. And then sealing the lips and exhaling out the nose, feeling a slight constriction in the back of the throat for your Ujjayi breath. One more inhale here. One more exhale. Slowly floating the palms together in front of the heart, keeping the eyes soft or closed, and setting an intention for the rest of practice today. The intention can be for a person, for a feeling, or maybe there's just even a word you want to focus on. If you're struggling to come up with your own intention, I'll offer up the word flow. Really thinking through this practice, how you can flow fluidly from one pose to the next, enter a flow state of the mind. Just break up everything else going on in the head right now. Focusing in on that intention, we'll start practice with a communal sound of Om. Inhaling through the nose to prepare. Slowly fluttering the eyes open, letting the hands release. We'll get started in this seated position, just starting to warm up the spine in case people have been sitting all day. So start to make really big circles with the torso, starting in one direction, really waking up that lower back and the spine. Hands can rest softly on the knees. For those of us who've been sitting a lot today, or maybe sitting all week, this should feel really nice just to get some good movement in. Continuing for another 2 and 1. Go ahead and switch directions, moving the other way now. Again, just bringing this nice big movement in and warming up the body. Good, circling for another couple of moments. And then slowly making your way back through center. Walk the fingertips behind you, plant the palms on the ground, fingertips face away from the body, and breathe in deeply through the chest, just stretching out through the front of the body. Again, this should feel really nice if we've been sitting at a desk all day, maybe hunched over the computer. Really just starting to open up the front of the body. One more inhale in, feel that breath come into the chest. And exhale, release. Making your way onto your back. We'll come into a little bit of core activation before moving into the rest of practice. So laying down as if you were about to get ready for bridge pose. Bringing the knees up to tabletop. You're going to take the palms and rest them at the hip creases, right where the thighs meet the hips. The palms should be right in those hip creases. And you're going to start pressing in the thighs to the hands, hands to the palm, and hands into the thighs. So you shouldn't really be moving the body at all, but you're starting to feel those lower abs engage. Keeping the lower back pressed onto the mat and continuing to breathe. Holding here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently release the feet to the ground. Maybe windshield wiper the legs just for a moment. And then coming back through center. Again, tabletop those legs. This time raise the arms straight up and we're going to come into a dead bug. So as you inhale, lower the right arm down to the ground and extend the opposite left leg. Inhaling for length and exhaling, returning back through center. Switching sides, inhaling, lower the left arm, lengthen and straighten the right leg, and exhale back to center. Inhale, right arm down, left leg long. And exhale, center. Inhale, left leg, left arm, leg long. Exhale, back to center. Let's go one more on each side. Inhale for length. Exhale, back through center. Final side, inhale for length. Exhale for center. Go ahead and bring the hands to the back of the legs. Start to gently rock all down the spine, ultimately making your way into a tabletop pose. Hands come under shoulders, toes can be tucked or relaxed, whatever feels good. We'll come into a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhaling to drop the belly, broaden through the chest and gaze forward. And as you exhale, round through the spine, coming into cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly, broaden the spine for cow. And exhale, round the belly, round the spine, coming into cat. 2 more nice slow breaths on your own, bringing in any movements that feel good. Maybe staying for a moment longer in a cat or a cow. Maybe rolling out the hips. 1 more breath in. Deep breath out. From here, we're going to come into a bear plank. So you'll be in your tabletop pose, tuck the toes, and then just hover the knees off the ground. So you're kind of in this modified plank. Really start to engage through the core. Press firmly through the hands, pushing the mat away, broadening through the chest and the shoulders. Staying here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shift back into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And we'll do 2 deep breaths here in down dog. Maybe starting to pedal out the legs and bringing some motion and movement into your down dog. 1 more breath here. Stay for the exhale. Starting to find stillness in this downward facing dog. Pushing the mat away with the hands, almost corkscrewing the armpits so that they're facing down towards the mat. And maybe lifting the tailbone just an inch higher to the sky. Bringing a slight bend in the knees if that feels good. And feeling the length all the way from the wrists to the tailbone. Inhale, gaze forward in between the hands. And slowly walk all the way to the top of the mat, coming to a forward fold. Grabbing a hold for opposite elbows, coming into a ragdoll. And gently swaying from side to side if that feels nice. Go ahead and release the fingertips down. Slight bend in the knees. Bring the hands to the hips and slowly stand all the way up. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms back up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift, gaze goes down. Fingertips rest on the shins or the knees. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, step back into plank pose, and pause. Bring the feet together. Shift the weight a little bit more forward so the shoulders are just in front of the wrists. An option to stay here for the next 4 breaths, or you can start doing shoulder taps. Tapping the right fingers to the left shoulder, left finger to the right shoulder, and slowly rotating. Really trying to avoid rocking the hips, shifting the hips side from side, and really just trying to find stability in this plank pose. We'll be here for another 3, 2, and 1. Even out the sides if you need. Come back into that plank pose. Shift yourself forward and lower all the way down to the belly on your exhale. Fingertips, palms can stay where they are. As you inhale, come up for baby cobra. Tops of the feet push into the ground. Fingertips, palms are just lightly resting on the mat. And the gaze is forward, neck is long. One more inhale here. Exhale, release. Shift back into a child's pose. Knees go wide towards the edge of the mat. Hip goes towards the heels. And just pause here. Walking the fingertips just an inch forward to find a little bit more length in the spine. Maybe forehead rests on the ground. One more inhale here. And as you exhale, make your way back into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Finding that same engagement we found before, maybe spiraling the armpits just slightly down towards the mat. Slight bend in the knees. And maybe the heels lower just a millimeter closer to the ground. From here, inhale the right leg high. Bend the knee, open up the hip, and find some nice length in the right side body. Inhale the right leg back through center. Exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. Inhale the right hand up for an easy twist. Left palm stays planted on the ground. Finding nice length and opening towards the right side of the room. And exhale the right palm down. Lower the left knee, untuck the toes, and as you inhale, sweep the arms up for Anjaneyasana, a low lunge. And in this low lunge, try to find a little bit more of an upright position rather than shifting forward. So the hips are going to be stacked over the knee. Slight engagement in the glutes and the quads there. So you'll get a little bit of a deeper stretch in your hip flexor. Soften the shoulders. Focus on the breath. Inhale, feeling the length in your spine. And exhale, softening the shoulders. One more inhale here. And exhale, plant the palms down on the ground, step back into a plank pose. Inhaling here in plank. Exhale all the way down to the belly. Inhale for baby cobra, lifting the chest, gaze is just in front of the mat. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes, engage through the legs, lift the kneecaps off the ground. And as you exhale, push up into a plank pose before shifting back to downward facing dog. Inhaling here. Staying for the exhale. Inhale the left leg high. Bend the knee, open up the hip. This time opening up the left side body. Good. Inhale the leg back through center. And as you exhale, place the left foot in between the hands. Keep the right palm good and lift the left arm up to the sky for an easy twist. Really nice. Option to gaze up at the fingertips if that feels good. One more inhale. Exhale, plant the left palm down. Release the right knee to the mat, untuck the toes. And as you inhale, come up into that Anjaneyasana low lunge. Again, really zipping up and engaging through that right leg. Feeling the right hip stack over the right knee. Feel that nice stretch in the quad and the hip flexor. Inhaling, lift the fingertips and the spine long. And as you exhale, release the shoulders, soften. Good. One more inhale here. And exhale, palms down to the ground, step back into plank pose. Option to move through baby cobra again, or we'll take a slow chaturanga that I'll guide you through. Shift the weight forward on the inhale, so the shoulders are almost over the fingertips. And then slowly lower the elbows so that you're coming about halfway. The shoulders and the arms really tuck tight into the body. Flip over the toes, coming in the tops of your feet. And as you inhale, slide open into an upward facing dog. Chest broadens, gaze is just forward. And exhale, downward facing dog. And as the dog walks fast. Inhaling here, settling in downward facing dog. And exhale. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, plant the right foot in between the hands, come up straight to a crescent lunge. And from here, you're gonna bend that back leg just a little bit to find this really nice hip and torso alignment. From there, you're gonna slowly start to re-straighten that back leg, but only so that you keep that engagement in the core. As soon as your hips start shifting, you're gonna stop. So you may have a pretty bent back leg, and that's okay. The goal here is really this torso and pelvic alignment. Inhale the fingertips a little bit higher. And as you exhale, reach the left fingertips behind you, right arm forward, coming into a gentle twist. Good. Inhale both arms back up through center. And exhale, sink just an inch deeper in that lunge. Feeling the right knee track out towards the right pinky toe. One more inhale here. And exhale, plant both palms down on the ground, step back into plank pose, and move through any chaturanga that feels good, any vinyasa that feels good. Whether it's chaturanga, moving into baby cobra, the child's pose, but ultimately meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg high. And exhale, place the left foot in between the hands, coming to a crescent lunge. And again, start to bend pretty deeply through the back leg, finding this really nice pelvic torso alignment. And then slowly starting to straighten the back leg, only so far as you can keep that alignment in place. Inhale the fingertips higher. And as you exhale, release the right arm behind you, left arm goes forward, coming into a gentle twist. Inhale both arms up. Exhale, sink a little deeper in that lunge. Left knee tracks out towards the left pinky toe. Really protect that knee. Inhaling here. Exhale, release both palms to the ground and move through a vinyasa or shift straight back to downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, plant the foot in between the hands, come up for a high crescent lunge. Inhaling here. Exhale, drive the arm behind you, left arm forward, coming back into that twist. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, plant the left heel down, open up for warrior two. Virabhadrasana 2. Again, feeling that right knee track out towards the right pinky toes. Good adjustments. And as you inhale, flip the right palm up, tip back for reverse warrior. Feeling the right side body open up. One more breath in here. Exhaling back to warrior two. Inhale, flip the right palm, tip back for reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior two. One more time, inhaling for reverse warrior. And this time, exhale, windmill the arms down, move through your vinyasa. Inhale, same right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, right foot in between the hands, come straight up into a warrior two. Inhale, tip back for reverse warrior. And as you exhale, come to your side angle pose. Either forearm on knee, or maybe reaching the right fingertips down to the ground on the inside of the right foot. Option to reach the left arm up towards the sky, or maybe find a half or a full bind. Half binders, you'll sneak that left hand behind the body and have those fingertips reach for the inside of the right thigh. Keeping that left shoulder open and pulling backwards in space. And gazes maybe just forward or down at the fingertips, or maybe up towards that left shoulder if it feels good. One more inhale here. Exhale, release the bind if you have it. And bring both palms on the inside of the right foot. Lift the left heel, coming into a runner's lunge. Heel toe that right foot out, just a toes point out, heel in. Maybe lower the back left knee if that feels good. And maybe come down to the forearms if you want to get a deeper stretch here. Coming back up onto the palms, lifting the left knee, and coming straight into your plank pose. Either shifting straight back to downward facing dog or moving through a vinyasa. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, left foot in between the hands. Come up for a crescent lunge on the inhale. Exhale, left arm behind you, right arm reaches forward. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale, plant the right heel on the ground, open up for warrior two. Feeling that left knee again, track open towards the left pinky toe. Inhale the left palm up to back for reverse warrior. Feeling the left side body open as the fingertips reach further behind you. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, flip the left palm, tip back for reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands down to the ground and move through your vinyasa. Or just move straight into downward facing dog. Inhale that same left leg up to the sky. Exhale, plant the foot in between the hands, come up for a crescent lunge on the inhale. Exhale, straight to warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, side angle pose. Left forearm comes to the left leg. Right arm can reach up towards the sky, or maybe taking that half bind, reaching the right forearm behind the back. Right fingertips reach for the inside of the left thigh as that right shoulder pulls back in space to open up the chest. If you can, gaze goes up towards that right shoulder and just above it towards the sky. Coming back to your breath, Nice deep inhales through the nose. Exhales through the nose. Inhale, release the bind if you have it. And on the exhale, bring both palms down to the ground on the inside of the left foot. Lift the right heel up towards the sky. And heel toe that left foot out a bit to the left so the toes point out, heels point in. Maybe releasing the right knee to the ground. Maybe lowering to the forearms. Slowly making your way back up to the hands, lifting the right knee and stepping back into your plank pose. From here, option to move through vinyasa or just straight to downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze in between the hands, lift the heels, bend the knees, and walk, step, or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen up the spine. Exhale, fold. Toes come together to touch, slight sliver of space in between the heels. On your inhale, sit back into your chair pose, Utkatasana. Weight shifts into the heels. Gaze down at your toes, making sure you can see them, maybe wiggling them to make sure the heels are hanging on to all the weight. Trying to lift the chest just an inch more straight. One more inhale here. And exhale, starting to sit all the way down to the ground, coming straight into Navasana, boat pose. Legs can parallel towards the ground, or maybe start to straighten them if that feels good. Hands can always come to the back of the thighs, or release for a little extra challenge. Inhaling here to find length. Exhale, lowering halfway to Ardha Navasana, half float. Inhaling up. Exhaling lower. Inhaling up. Exhaling lower. Inhaling up. And then just go ahead and rest your feet down on the ground. Give yourself a little hug here. Release the fold. Lengthen the legs out in front of you. And as you inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinge straight at the hips, reaching past the toes. And the goal here is really to imagine you're hinging in half, not bringing your head to your knees, not rounding the back too much. Continuing to find length through the spine as your forehead comes closer to your toes. Slowly start to walk the hands up the body. And for a slow count of 4, lower all the way onto your back. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knees, place the soles of the feet on the ground. Bring the feet about hip width distance. And as you inhale, lift the hips coming into bridge pose. Option to stay here. Option to interlace the hands underneath the back, wiggling the shoulder blades underneath you. Or option to bring a block under the hips and make this more of a restorative pose. One more inhale here. Exhale, release. One hand comes to the heart, one hand to the belly, feeling into the breath. And preparing for one more round of bridge. Inhale, lift the hips, and come into any variation that feels good. Either that restorative bridge again, maybe clasping the hands underneath the body. One more inhale. And exhale, release. Hug the knees into the chest, curl up into a super tight little ball. And then go ahead and grab for the outer edges of the feet, bringing the knees in towards the armpits, resting the head down and coming into happy baby. Rocking gently side to side, massaging out the lower spine. And maybe playing with this pose a little bit, stretching one leg, maybe both. Slowly start to release the hands from the feet, bringing the knees back in towards the chest, curling up into a super tight ball. Forehead comes to knees. And as you exhale, release everything into our final pose, Shavasana. Legs reach long towards the edges of the mat. Ankles release, allowing the feet to flop. And arms go long down the sides of the body, palms face up. Feeling the body just melt into the mat, allowing everything to release and relax. Now I'll call you back out when it's time. Slowly starting to bring the awareness back into the body, back into the breath. Maybe wiggling the fingers and toes, doing small movements again. And as you're ready, rolling over onto your right side in the fetal position, using the right bicep as a little pillow. I'm just pausing for a moment here. Slowly making your way back up to a seated position, trying to avoid the screen, keeping the eyes soft or continue to keep them closed. Bringing the palms together in front of the heart. Taking these last few moments of class to just reflect on where you are now, how your body feels, how your mind feels, how your spirit feels. Feeling some of that tension from the day erased and released. And having a new perspective as you complete the rest of your day. One deep breath in here all together. Exhaling through the nose. Ending class with a final community Om. Inhaling through the nose. Bringing the fingertips up to the third eye center, the space between the eyebrows, and gently bowing forward to seal in this practice. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for serving your body. Thank you for such a beautiful practice today. Namaste.
Namaste.